Is it recording now? I don't know. I can't see. Okay. Time to leave.
Workout resumed.
Yes, workout is resumed. The thing about Carn Y Cefn and the getting to the trig point, the paths are not very good. In fact, they're basically sheep tracks. So you have to look for the best sheep track and then work your way. I know this place very very well, but even in this fog I went about 30 or 40 yards past it before I turned into the trig point. So I'm making my way back to the easterly side of Carn Y Cefn. It's quite broad. The peak there, it's not a peak with views, to be perfectly honest. The trig point is right in the middle of a big plateau, and from here you walk to the easterly and you come to a path which I'm going to come to in a second, which overlooks the Aber Valley. Looks down into Nantaglo, Blaena and onwards to Eerie. And I took some photographs earlier looking down the valley when the fog lifted, so you might have seen those. But as it is now, you can't see your hand in front of your face. In fact, the path is just about 20 yards in front of me. So it is a well-worn rutted path that looks like bikers have been up here, and deep-rooted because it's quite wet. So I'll show you now. There you are. This is the path. So if I went that way, I'd be heading back down towards the golf course. This is Nantaglo and Blaena.
Workout pause.
This is heading towards Aberbeeg. But then if I turn off, I'll go down into Silent Valley. I put my tracker on to see how far I walked on my new phone. The only thing being is I can't turn the bloody woman's voice off. I just put a nominal figure in there to try it out, and I don't know how to turn her off. So every time I stop, she says something paused. Every time I start, exercise started or whatever. So, but no views here today. I was hoping that we might see some views so I could show you. But there you go. It's all about exercise and getting out, because since lockdown in the last 12 months, let's turn around
5 kilometers completed. Remaining distance 2.99 kilometers.
So I've got 2 kilometers left to do my exercise.
5 minutes 12 seconds. Current speed 5.3 kilometers.
Give her a second to shut up.
Average speed 4.6 kilometers per hour.
Not very fast, about 2 miles an hour, is it?
1 hour 44 minutes 12 seconds.
I am slow. There you are, she stopped. As I was saying, since lockdown last March, I really have become a lazy person, and really not wanting to go out either, which is not very good. I do suffer with it a bit, and I think the winter months when they came on and announced that we were having more lockdown sort of got to me, and it was my intention come the new year to start doing more exercise and getting out. But January went, and I think I went out about twice just for short walks from the house. So come the end of January and it started to snow. I always get lifted by snow. I thought, come on, get out, do a bit of walking. So that's what sort of prompted me to get out and record my video and walk Rhys Val. Plus I'd seen Anthony Payne's Show Us Your Brew, or What's Your Brew, I think it was called. So it gave me the incentive to get out, and I enjoyed it. Once I was out through the front door, I felt a lot better, same as today. Even though you can't see your hand in front of your face, being out in it is, it just makes you, lifts your spirits a bit, I think, to know that you've done something and you're getting a bit of exercise. My wife suffers with rheumatoid arthritis really bad. She's had a hip replacement, joints taken out of her toes, but she doesn't moan, and she goes out for a walk every day down to the trail that used to be the old steelworks. And since the lockdown, come rain or shine, she goes out and she does upwards of about 10,000 steps a day, which is puts me to shame, to be perfectly honest. So I think if my wife can do it, I should at least get out and try to do a bit of exercise. But between me and you, I can't wait for us. She's had her first jab. Well, I can't wait for everybody to have their jabs so that we can start having time away, holidays. I don't want to go abroad or in the sun or anything, because I love this country. So we've got a couple of things in the pipeline, places we want to go, places we want to see. So I can't wait for that sort of time, because this time that we had, there's a little bit of snow just in front of me then. But yeah, this last 12 months, well, nobody's experienced anything like it, because this, in my lifetime, and I'm 62, all I've ever known is really good things, I suppose. No war. I was born after World War II, and you know, I had a job and stuff. Now the path goes right and it goes straight on. I'm going to go right a little bit, because this path up here is between Eerie and the valley that I live in is the Ebwy Valley. There were lots of mines, and one of the mines, Roseworth, which is between Blaenau and Eerie, run through the mountain under Carn Y Cefn to come. And this mountain has got lots of deep sort of gullies with very deep holes. This isn't one, but they are like this, only a lot worse. And so if you go off track a little bit, you could be in danger, especially in weather like this. So I'm going to keep to the best tracks possible and see how it goes. But wow, it's really foggy now. I reached the halfway point down the ridge from Carn Y Cefn. I'm now more in the middle of the mountain, so I can't see down into the Aplogies Valley. Be quiet. Or I can't see down into the Ebwy Valley. Even if it was sunshine, I wouldn't be able to see down there. I would be able to see the tops of the mountains, but I wouldn't actually be able to see, because, as I said earlier, Carn Y Cefn is quite a broad. Oh, can you hear that? There's red grouse up here, and there is nothing quite as eerie.
Workout resumed.
Shh! I was listening to a red grouse in the fog, and just behind the camera, I don't know whether you would have picked it up in the distance. So he's probably hunkered back down. I think it was last year I came up here for a walk, And as I was about 100 yards from...
Workout paused.
As I was about 100 yards from the trig point, I spooked about 4 of them. I think they frightened me more than I frightened them. Because I was literally about 2 foot away from them when they got up off the ground. So I can hear motorbikes down below me now. So perhaps that's what spooked the grouse earlier. I don't know. Sadly, that's one of the things up here, is that it's easy access for the motorbikers, and hence why the tracks are all rutted and dug up, because it's quite wet up here as well. Very bleak. Bleak but beautiful. The grouse is up there, can you hear it? Rather eerie sound in the fog and mist. Okay, I'll come to the junction now, which I know the path to the right takes me to Silent Valley. If I carry on another 100 yards and then turn left, I'll head down towards Aberbeeg. It's a bit still very muggy. I passed a couple of young lads on their mountain bikes. They said they could hear me before they saw me, so because I was doing a piece to camera. But I'm gonna bail out and go down to Silent Valley, down through the valley, and then give Deb a quick call, get her to come and pick me up, because basically this is not lifting. I've done a bit of exercise. I've nearly done my 8 kilometers, so I'll probably have done 10k by the time I get home, which is enough for exercise for the day. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will see you again. All the best.
Workout resumed.
Well, I hadn't even walked about another 30 yards after I left you the last time to say ta-ra, and the mist lifted and I was right on the edge. So this is literally about 100 yards from where I was. I was right on the edge of the mountain. So I'm looking down into Silent Valley. This is Silent Valley. It goes around the corner a little bit. To my left, to your right, is the old it's a recycling port now, but it used to be a tip years ago, a reclaimed tip. I'm looking over towards Garden City, which I'll show you in a second. There's Ebervale Festival, but what I was going to point out to you is this is Carn Y Cefn, and just above, this is Edom Var, the ridge of Edom Var, and just above the buildings that you can see in the distance is where I was talking to you from last week, when I had my hot chocolate and Horlicks. There's a little quarry above it. You can't actually see it in this light, but it's there, and I can see the path coming down, and I walk along the edge of the mountain and back home. So it looks quite nice now. I might get the camera out and just take a view of this. I was going to say, today I've got one lens, which is my Sigma 45mm f2.8. So I'm just taking a few shots with that. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to end this video. I've come down off the mountain, and I'm in the top half of Silent Valley now. This is the top end of Cwmyrthog, and an area that I don't normally come to. I have walked through here from the heads of the valley down into Silent Valley before, but I thought I'd stop and show you these trees. These are beech trees, and the shapes on them. I don't know, I put super view on, so hopefully you'll be able to have a wider view, but they go for about another 200 yards that way, and I don't know how far that way, but there are some fantastic examples, particularly like I don't know whether you can hear me, line of sight, etc. But the should be quiet. The roots on this tree, they're just spookily eerie. I don't know. Could you imagine this place with mist?
Workout paused.
Wow. And the shapes of them, fantastic. Like everything in Wales, though, woodland is on a slant. I suppose it would be alright if you're at the top looking down. There's a fence of about 200 yards up that way. The compositions, it would be very difficult. There's a tree there, and it's like it's growing out of the ground. This tree is sort of gone up a little bit, and then if I take a shot with my mobile, I think I might be able to show you it, because it's pretty amazing. There's trees behind you as well that are worth a look.
Workout resumed.
But whoa, gonna go on my arse because it's very soft underfoot here. But this tree here, it's all gnarly, and the roots.
Workout paused.
Be quiet. But oh, turn the camera around. Look at that, the way that's growing. Because I'm on quite a slant here down there, and this sort of goes up and just sort of out. And the roots on this one, I'm looking at a composition of left, these roots, up to the tree, out to that tree, and up through there. I'll just take a photograph with my phone just to sort of show you. But if you had some mist here and the background was, because there are lots of trees in the background, you could just possibly fade those out in mist. That would make a lovely composition. But I'll take a photograph or a little bit of video, I think, of where you are down there, and there are trees behind you, so lots of gnarly old trees there. But that's lovely. I don't know if you can actually see that. I like that composition. I'm very tempted to make a black and white of it. Yeah. I'm talking to the wife a minute, hang on. That was the wife. She's gonna come and pick me up. Yeah, I'm intrigued by this, and the tree goes up and out. A lot of sky, but I think possibly like a 16:1 crop.